Wife cheated after 18 years. Oh, it's sad to read stories like this. I've been going back and forth about making this post because it hurts so much. I found out my wife was cheating after I checked her phone and saw that she had been talking to a man. It turned out that it was a coworker of hers. It always seems to be the coworkers. What is it about the coworkers? I'm assuming because they see them more than their husband or wife and they figure why not give it a shot? What hurts even more is that I just buried my brother, and she was having an affair during my lowest point while I was grieving, and I'm still grieving. I filed for divorce 4 days later, and it only took me that long because the courthouse was closed for 2 of those days. I'm done, and I'm not changing my mind, but the pain is overwhelming. How could she throw everything away for a guy at work? Especially during the time when I was mourning the loss of my brother. This is sad. 18 years and it went up in smoke. And the sad thing is you spend almost 2 decades with someone and then out of the blue, boom, they're gone. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. This guy filed for divorce in only 4 days after he found out. Most men outside of YouTube would not act that fast. I seriously hate her. She wants to work things out, but I can't even stand the sight of her. There's no working it out. We have kids, which makes this all hurt even more. My stomach turns all day. I just needed to vent to someone, as the only person I used to talk to about these things is now gone. Oh, that's sad. But we do have an update. Update. Wife cheated after 18 years. I truly appreciate all the support and encouraging words. I had been staying at the house until I found a place, but I ended up leaving because I couldn't stand the sight of her. I'll admit, I started arguments and kept bringing everything up. I kept going down the rabbit hole because I knew she wasn't being honest, and I kept uncovering more lies. Well, the most important thing, in my opinion, is that he got out. He said he started arguments and he couldn't stand the sight of her. Best thing he did was get out. He found the place and he left. Eventually, I realized I needed to stop. It's over, and I'm not taking her back. Whatever new things I discover won't make a difference. The curiosity was relentless, though I couldn't rest until I uncovered more proof of her dishonesty. I guess maybe he was trying to seek closure in some form or fashion, but it doesn't matter now. She's not going to be honest. Most cheaters are not going to come clean. I talked to my therapist today and plan to continue doing so regularly. I'm already an avid gym goer, and while that hasn't changed, I might go a little harder now to help cope with the added stress and pain. I've moved out, consulted a divorce lawyer, and I'm trying to deal with the pain day by day. What's still bothering me is the unanswered question. Why? Why would she do this? Especially during the most vulnerable, darkest moments when I needed her the most. Her response, I needed attention. Seriously? Well, I guess she got more attention than she bargained for. I know her excuse is nonsense, which only leaves me wondering even more. But if it's not stopping me from moving on, because what she did, especially during that time, is absolutely unforgivable. Honestly, I've had enemies treat me more kindness than she did. Yeah, you'll never know why. So don't even waste your time and energy trying to find out. That's going to drain you mentally. Here are a few comments from the update, well, from the entire story. You would never understand why, because her brain just doesn't work like yours does. Cheaters tend to lack emotions like empathy and remorse. Cheating is a very selfish thing to do. It's abusive behavior towards their own partner. It's just not going to make sense to you because you just do not think the way she does at all. Best you can do is accept the truth about who she is, but you probably never will figure out why, and that is okay. Yeah, that is okay. Move on with your life. Here's another comment, actually the second comment. This guy is quoting what OP said. What's still bothering me is the unanswered question, why? The only answer I could make work with everything my ex-wife told me, and that works on every level, is because they could. Really, that's all you need. They cheated because they could, because they were selfish and had no regard for anyone else, including you or the marriage. Sure, you can sprinkle little bits of her specific reasons, but ultimately, when faced with the decision, should I or shouldn't I, she picked I should because she could at that moment. She could convince herself it was okay. She could feel like it would make her happy. She could feel like it was a thing that would fill the emptiness. At the end of the day, she did it because she could. Well said. I couldn't put it any other way. Here's the final comment for this story. You have already stated that she wasn't being honest and you were constantly catching her in lies. So, honestly, OP, there is really no sense in asking her any questions because you are not going to get the truth out of her. Yep. Cheaters most of the time don't come clean. They're not going to be honest. In the end, the why is that she is a broken person doing broken things that broke apart her spouse and family. I can honestly tell you, after years of reading similar situations in the infidelity Reddits, her cheating is all about her and nothing to do with you. So don't beat yourself up trying to figure out what you did wrong because you didn't do anything wrong. If you were doing anything wrong, she would have come to you and told you there was a problem, and the two of you could have worked it out together. Just focus on your healing and let Karma Train handle your soon-to-be ex. Yeah, I usually say, even in relationships I've been in, if there was a problem, I'll come to you. I'll tell you, hey, something's going on. What's up? Let's figure it out. But most of the time, cheaters don't even do that. They don't even give you the benefit of the doubt to try to work on what's wrong. Here's another crazy story. I, 23 male, went on a vacation and my girlfriend, she's 22, had her ex to sleep over. Hello, I am in a loving relationship for the past year, and me and my girlfriend recently moved in together. We started dating in February last year, and I always go skiing during the winter. My girlfriend goes to school with one of her exes, and they are friends. Uh-oh. I was never the jealous type, so I told her that I am okay with it as long as they don't sleep with each other. Spoiler alert. In the summer of 2024, my girlfriend went on a vacation with her family, and I had the task of taking care of their cat. I always went to their house to feed her, and as a romantic gesture, I thought about writing my girlfriend a letter each day that she was gone, and had the idea of hiding it around her room so she could find them in random places. When I was placing one of the letters, I came across her diary, and I thought about placing one in it because it's an obvious place to put it in. I never had the intention of reading the diaries, but I came across a page from March where she was writing about sleeping with him. I was shocked and called her immediately. They always had these days where they would go party with friends, and I knew he would sleep over because he lived far away. But I always told myself that she wouldn't do that to me and that he just needed somewhere to sleep. Well, I guess you just got your answer. We moved on from it, and I told her that it was very early on in the relationship and that I forgive her. It was very hard for me to do, but I didn't want to lose her because she is someone very special for me. The only request I made was that I told her that I never want him to sleep at her place when I am not there, and I think that it was a fair request. She told me that she regrets doing it and that she was drunk and doesn't want to sleep with him again, but that sometimes he would have to sleep over if they go out with their group of friends. We had many small fights about this topic, and it is the only thing that we fight about. Yeah, exes shouldn't be cohabitating, not even for 2 minutes. But I think in this case, he should have made other arrangements to sleep somewhere else. But I bet he knew he probably could get away with it, and he did. As of 2025, me and my girlfriend moved in together. Why would you move in with someone where you're already on shaky ground? I don't get that thought process. We have a very cute flat, but this week I went skiing again. I told her that I will be back in a week and that if she wants, she can have friends over. What I didn't expect was for her to call him right as I left and ask him to come over because she feels scared alone in the flat. To her credit, she could have lied to me about it, but she told me that he would sleep over. Right now, I am in a tough position because I don't know what is going on in the flat, and I am not coming back until a couple of days. I told her to send him home, and she did, even though he already slept there one night. But I think that I am done with her constantly trying to have him around as soon as I leave, even though I told her I don't want it. What would you do in my position? Well, I think you just answered your own question. You said you were done. And plus, you're only 23 years old. Man, you got your whole life in front of you. Send her on her way. You don't want to be in a relationship with someone you can't trust. It sounds like you can't trust her. Here are a few of the comments from this story. Hey, OP, you ask, what would I do in your situation? Well, I definitely would do the math. Has she already cheated on me? Yes. Has she prepared to cheat on me again? Yes. Is she still in constant contact with the person she cheated on me with? Yes. Has she absolutely no shame and expects me to forever forget I could be a person with a backbone? Yes. To me personally, the most important question would be, is it morally okay to film her when I tell her she has 2 weeks to move out, or I will move and leave her with the effing rent all by her cheating, pathetic self? Oh, and very important, if I were you, I would get tested for every STD in medical history, and I would never touch her nor sleep in her immediate vicinity ever again. I would not want to get miraculously baby trapped by this woman. Here's the second comment for this story. OP, I'm male, 48. I can tell you this and tell you that, but there's a common theme on this sub that reminds me of my own experience. There's no replacement for experience. He is right. The tough spot you are going through is a learning and hardening process that's hard to avoid in life. Absolutely well said. These experiences shape you and teach you to spot partners to avoid in the future. If you date enough people, you'll learn to spot the tails of the ones to avoid immediately in many cases. That's not to say you won't still make errors. Every day's a school day. On this specific topic, though, your girlfriend inviting a former sexual partner, moreover someone with whom she has cheated on you, to overnight at your home is a red card offense. It's not even about whether she did or she didn't. It's about the lack of respect in having him stay, given the background between them and your awareness of the same. It's not about you being controlling and curating who cannot stay. This guy lost his hospitality entitlement when he screwed your girlfriend. Finally, as an older dog trying to give you some sage advice here, this girl is also finding a way, and at 22, given her behavior to date, whatever you now do, she's not in your future. I have been devastated over the loss of 5 serious, long-term partners in my life. Looking back, only one of them would I still harbor regret over. But even in that case, on a few occasions where I bumped into her since, I had decided it was right that we were not together. So, this is a huge, harrowing issue for you now, but it will fade. Time is a healer in matters like this. He's right. One would never get over the loss of a child, but you can get over the loss of a cheater who proved themselves to be untrustworthy. Take your time, mind your mental health, and then, when you're ready, find another. I wish you well, brother. Here is the last comment. She seems to make excuses as to why he needs to sleep over. She is showing disrespect to you by having him sleep over. By bringing him over, it shows she doesn't care about how this affects your feelings and doesn't plan to stop. You have a choice. You can forgive her until it happens again the moment you leave, or you can break up because she isn't going to change. She could have had a girlfriend spend the night, but instead she chose him. If you forgive her, then get nanny cam set up without her knowing, one in the bedroom and another in their living room to see if they are doing anything, and leave for another skiing trip. Say a week but only plan to go for about 4 days and come back early. Those cameras will show if anything is happening between them. Good luck. The only thing I'm going to say, this guy's only 23 years old. Clear your mind. Break up with her and clear your mind. Your problem will be solved.